Greetings everyone, please give a moment to make sure everything's set on up. Looks like everything's booting on up. Give me a moment to turn on the live chat windows. As well as my macros. Okay, everything should be online. Give me another moment to check my other computer. And looks like everything is good to go. So, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Small on the north side as the blue Kindle, we got Quick Slow 87. Small on the south side as the Black Hole Andy, we got Gimme Candy. Go on, gimme. Just make sure it's delivered via unmarked white van. Either way, when it comes to this map, for those who are watching either live stream or the video that hopefully gets uploaded to YouTube, I do cut off the corners inside this map, as well as some excess there to make it a little bit smaller, easier for viewing, because let's be frank, this map is large, for a large amount of dead area. After all, let's see, the side's not skimmed off as the left side. You can see a decent amount of force on the corners there, which is really just dead space. And not to mention all the shores as well. I feel like this map could be shrunken down a little bit, honestly. Do have an early recon deployed on the Kindle. And he won't really have good uses for his hyper repair power rather than a superpower hyper upgrade. And a lot of the CEOs when fighting against global damage, such as Drake or Olaf, you can sort of nullify the superpower by popping his regular power, but Kindle's power, Urban Blight, only applies to units on urban terrain. A good chance it'll be on his own urban terrain, so he can recover 1 out of the 3 health, but the other health will be restored. Granted, it will be useful to restore stuff that's got hit by Urban Blight on urban terrain he doesn't have captured, but still. Do got an early AD tank here, out of vision and everything, but could be. No, it does not get spotted there. So it does not get spotted. In range, but out of sight. First, does get trapped there. First, rule of the, got a second recon there. Rule of the survivability onion as laid out by Spookson. First thing is not be seen, because if you don't get seen, you cannot die. Assume it's not by some sort of indirect fire. Yeah, also got a double recon last turn by Andy as well. Now this map does have a decent amount of income, so high society is also a bit more possibility. Whether Kindle wants to use her power or her superpower is somewhat dependent on the map and core situations. She of course does more or less the retaliation CO, does finish off the entry unit there. Units who are attacked from urbanized terrain get a staggering plus 40% damage, allowing you, so if one of your, say, infantry or tank, let's just take a look at this tank here. If this tank gets struck by another tank, you can pull back, another tank could go push forward and replace it and retaliate with plus 40% damage, likely one-shotting the leftover tank after receiving its first counterattack fire. Recon spots a bit of everything. There's a tank in the forest there, not sure where his opponent's assets are at. In which Kindle did see the tank enter the forest. Of course, needs to be spotted first, which this infantry unit there could spot it, but the problem is there's only 1 tank in range and there's 2 tanks there, so charging forward is a bad idea at the moment. Kindle's gone for early anti-air, which was adequate because Andy did go for early battlecopter. This map is a 3-base map with 2 airports. You get a stealth deployment, but pretty far in the back, be a turn or 2 extra distance has to travel. We got the forward deployment, which it is easy spottable, easy to lock down, but of course forward deployment means you can get on the field and start doing actions quicker. In this one, backline at least can still allow deployment on the other side where there's no airport. Recon will interrupt there and fully stops it there, puts the tank on top of there. Could get double tapped by tanks, but I see now triple tanks there. Kindle is behind the tank play. This tank is in range of this tank here, so she could double tap this tank and strike this one tank once. Does interrupt the capture there. Tank is going to go for the play. Ooh, that damage does fully take it out. Does get a booster strike onto Recon, knocking out pretty easy. Interrupts the capture there. Very nice. The problem is now this Kindle's tanks can get double tapped here, so the 7 health tank or the 2 4 health tanks can get struck. Pick 2, battlecopter in here, another battlecopter there. Of course, remember as well, Kindle's battlecopters does get boosted from urban terrain, even though they are flapping around. Great strike there, down to 1 health. Battlecopter gets put a shot on in, but the anti-air is in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, the anti-air is out of range of that tank there. Now, if Kindle can take out this tank, she can take out the battlecopter as well. I'm not sure what's hard to deal with, 8-star or 8 health on 3 stars or full health on no stars. The 8 health one's probably actually a bit more durable, since that'll be effectively plus 24% defense. Let's see, 30 times by 80%. I can't do that math at the moment. 6. Yeah, it was 24. Oh, pops Urban Blight there. I didn't realize that. Urban Blight now makes a 5 health tank. So she's going to try to do an early deployment there. Pulls back the wooden tank. Recon strikes infantry. Infantry strikes infantry. And now a 5 health tank easy to deal with. Anti-air can charge for. Take it out as well. And Andy does have anti-air maybe in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If Andy can take out this anti-air, then the battlecopter can also go down. Other than that, unlikely otherwise. Have to be a superpower to get pulse from tile range. But even then, I don't think that will allow her to range the battlecopter unless this tank or anti-air gets knocked through. But there's 2 tanks nearby, so should be able to double tap the anti-air to strike the battlecopter. Infantry, tank, infantry. And of course, another battlecopter there. Double taps the anti-air there. Now the anti-air can strike there. He is almost to a hyper upgrade. Number of units. Oh, got a good number of infantry units that did get hit by the Urban Blight. Battlecopter, infantry, recon, tank. Recon does knock out. Hyper upgrades now available. And the artillery is in a good position. Shooting fish in a barrel. Or penguins in a barrel. Could pop it. Got a number of wounded tanks there. Maybe push forward, let his tanks get wounded, and then repair them up. A decent amount of infantry there. Kindle ends turn 75,000. Andy starts turn 64. 20,000 versus 17. So Kindle has the advantage at the moment, but the front lines are basically collapsing each other, so Andy has a good possibility to get some good work done. And it looks like he's not going to pop the superpower this turn. I just pull back and let the turn pass. Infantry, tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Kindle's turn, which means she can get damage done, not have to worry about charging up his opponent's superpower. So be careful about that in retaliation of that said superpower instead. One infantry unit is near the mounted there, so it can always pop up there for some good vision and be disposable. T-copter, tank, infantry. Both players do have 2 comm towers at the moment. Oh, decide to hyper upgrade there to get some health restored on those infantry units, among other things. Possible movement range is very important. Anti-air will not be able to range that battlecopter. Maybe I'll range this battlecopter here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, nowhere near. Anti-air pushed too far forward while Andy will strike a tank there. But maybe if that's the only, that's good enough battlecopter in the region, which this one could receive a boost strike from this battlecopter if it was to move far enough. Infantry anti-air tank. Kendo has 24,000 funds stored enough. She could go for neo tank and infantry this turn. Let's see what she does. Tank will strike tank. Tank will strike tank. Wounded tank strikes tank. Battlecopter strikes tank. Pops the Urban Blight there, melee upon charging. I don't know if it's any interrupts this capture there and this capture, and got a decent amount of global damage there. Don't know how effective that is. That of course would be easy one shot. She gets plus 8% firepower, while her from the power from attacking urbanized terrain, 104% easy kill. Interrupts that capture even further. Good strikes there. Infantry anti-air tank. No mech from the T-copter I was expecting. Tank does get struck there. Gets machine. Oh, does not get cut off this block. Plus 1% health. Anti-air does range the battlecopter, but barely. Tank on tank. A lot of good strikes there. Andy has still good healthy core tanks, and that's not from his power or superpower. They even put some machine gun shots there. Tank, infantry. Kindle starts turn 66. Andy starts to end turn 78. So for Kindle's 8, that's still pretty even. We'll take time and put some rounds at that battlecopter. Takes out the good old-fashioned way. Lots of bullets. Drops that capture there. And has 6 capture progress remaining, so has only 4 health, so will not be captured next turn. Good strikes there. Double taps that infantry unit there. Does manage to take it out and finish off that infantry unit there entirely. Wounded tank strikes tank. And infantry from the mountainside fires upon the infantry on the road. Neo tank. Boost there. Infantry. Anti-air will knock out tank. Right now, Ken has 82,000, Andy has 55, so he's fallen quite behind. Of course, the front lines are collapsing each other, so both sides' values will quickly go on down. Infantry, battlecopter, infantry, tank. Power is available, which is something Kindle could want to use Andy's power. Does get trapped there. Allow the recon get another good strike there. It was previously spotted, but that way it's very well known it's still there. Equal strike infantry there. Last despicable neutral properties right here. And we'll take out that infantry unit there. New tank is advancing. Battlecopter, infantry, tank, recon. Answer 104. Andy has 68. So Kindle has a good position. Also has 30 units in the left field, which is 29. So Kindle has a good amount of infantry forces. Does pick off another tank there with the 89 health anti-air. Though it did have help from the battlecopter. Good strike there. Right now, Andy has no real counter to the battlecopter. Not battlecopter, neo tank. That's something very different. Can get cost-effective engagements and then top off their health with the power and or superpower, but that neo tanks can cause some huge issues. With our cast vision, we know it's going to be pretty safe for the Neotank charge to that 9 health tank. And we'll do that. And he has a superpower available. Good number of wounded tanks in the field, which could utilize it. Nice booster strike there from the city there, allows it to easily pick off a full 8 health tank. Man's picked off the 3 health tank there as well, and I'm gonna flip it. And he doesn't have too many wounded units to engage, get repaired on up. The best thing he could do right now is send the battlecopters in to strike the Neo tank. But right now, he has no real counter to this anti-air that's on the field normally. He has vision of that anti-air, but is out of movement range. Infantry, artillery, trying to counter the Neotank of artillery. Does keep the 6,000 funds bank. Probably gonna go with his own Neotank next turn. But Urban Blight could cause some issues there. I don't know how much repairs it will consume. Yeah, and Urban Blight actually may be pretty good. Prevent Andy from properly counting at this moment. Neotank falls back a little bit there, just trying to get some coverage from the battlecopters. Does put another battlecopter, tank, infantry. Andy can now deploy out a Neotank this turn. Battlecopter gets struck. High Society can be brought on in, which can be quite nice. High Society works best if you're trying to engage your opponent on equal footing. Engage on equal footing means you can get just get enough power to break a stalemate situation, assuming they're in range. Kindle ends or starts to turn at 95. Andy ends with his turn at 93, so Andy's behind about a turn. Booster strike down the battlecopter, that'll be easy one shot. And may just pop Urban Blight at the end of the turn. Battlecopter there. One of these battlecopters are likely to be picked off. If he takes out this battlecopter here, it will receive the retaliation effect by nearby tank and probably get one-shotted, particularly if it's Urban Blight and or High Society. ATR infantry. We'll get a strike there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it won't be a range of there. So the 8th tier won't receive the booster strike in return with that positioning. And Kindle could snipe the Neotank of High Society. For High Society right now would provide 22 properties, so approximately plus 66% damage. Oh wait, that was a lot of captures. How many captures was that? 26 properties? Okay, that would be 78%. That is far more significant. That is also a lot of property captures this turn. She's up to 24,000 income. 80's probably down to 16. Does finish off that tank there. Recon will finish off the tank. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Yep, looks like he's down to 16,000. That is quite critical. Instead of 111 versus 85. Battlecopter strike battlecopter, and we'll spot the anti-air. Is that Neotank in range of the Neotank? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, just out of range. Because, let's be frank, if this Neotank did have range from a city of High Society, that would be about well above plus 200% firepower. It would one-shot that Neotank. High Society, Urban Blight is a good, is an excellent CO power. High Society is a good CO power. Just the problem is good versus excellent. She has a good, Kindle's a pretty wide variety of strategies. She can support many different playstyles, though she is of course limited of some aspects with the urbanized terrain. If your opponent's smart enough to play around urbanized terrain, she still has a usable superpower to be incredibly effective. Tank artillery infantry. Slide push way forward. Good escort there. Another Neo tank by Andy. Kindle could eye something a bit more expensive now. She has 29,000. I always find bombers quite good. But again, who doesn't find bombers quite good? Helicopter's getting low on fuel. It can fall back to either airport. Just go leftwards until you realize, yeah, I can go for this one this turn, or I want to use this airport, so I can always go backwards. And she does go for a bomber and a recon with a pair of infantry. Right now, Kindle can just play a little bit slow. She knows she has excellent income. The median income is 20,000. And she has 24, so she knows how she's in a good position right now. Battlecopter, infantry. So Andy did save a bit of funds, but then again, that's more just skipping out as well. Does this reduce income? Tank will take out the infantry unit there. Battlecopter will be shot down next turn by Andy here. Booster strike there. Looks like Kindle's gonna make her play going down south for the winter. Has a couple wounded battlecopters just cause issues as well. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Battlecopter East gets shot down. Both players still have the superpower as well. Andy can always pop the superpower for plus 1% firepower and plus 1 movement. Artillery, anti-air, infantry. And gets a boost strike there from the HQ. And Kindle's tanks are blitzing. Could have actually got it just straight up booster strike there. Probably may have one-shot that infantry unit there. Kindle does go for another Neo tank. Pulls back the heavy assets, trying to rotate around to this flank here. Andy does have a recon there. Multiple infantry units near mountain sides, ready to spot everything for the next turn. Does spot the bomber as well as the Neo tank there. And with that, upon seeing all that stuff, Andy decides just to resign. This Angrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. Give you a moment to adjust everything. That seems good. So let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the north side as the Orange Star Hawk, we've got Volt Switch. Spawn on the south side as the Cobalt Ice Sasha, we got Interb RBF. Sasha is of course known for market crash to deny powers and superpowers, and Hawk is known for having a very large power and superpower. So we're probably not going to see many Black Storms this game, if any. We're probably going to see, once Hawk has capabilities, going to pop Black Wave, because that's his only real chance of actually using his power. He's not going to get a superpower this turn. If he does, then Sasha may have made a mistake. Or maybe not. Of course, he does provide his passive 10% off attack and firepower globally, which is very important. very helpful for our day-to-day passes. This game's going to be more resolved around day-to-day passes. But a good counterpart is Sasha getting plus 10% funds from her properties, which will play a different, as well as pay a different. So let's get started. This is a 3-base map with 1 airport. You got both players do start with a recon on an island that's 1 HP, ready to spot some stuff. And with a bit of play, you can go move the recon around and just get some good spotting. Additionally, both players do start with a lander on the map, which it will provide a bit of transportation for the single base here. So if you go to the base skip, it's probably going to be that base there. For now, both players are keeping their black boats on top of their HQs, not displacing them just yet. Got another recon deployed by Sasha, as well as a tank. And this time, Hawk goes for a tank, has another assets really in the field. I'll just go for a recon over here as well. Oh, Hawk also has a recon here, which does not get spotted there. Just barely seeing out of vision range, so able to strike maybe this healthy infantry unit there. Decides to strike the healthy infantry unit right there. Tank being kept in the back line, ready to counterattack to this tank if it pushes too far forward. You can count a number of spaces where a tank may come out from this base here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So anything along this diagonal will have a possible tank there. So Sasha may just want to assume the tank is on one of those 3 tiles, pretty much at all times. And Sasha sending more tanks to center. Does interrupt that capture there, very nice. Another tank deployed on the flank, and another pair of infantry units there. Does strike that infantry unit there, as well as a tank, but it is in range of this tank. This tank cannot provide coverage, it went too far forward. And not only that, this tank could get double tapped and be picked off. Recon falls back, gets hit there and there. Nice easy pick there. And to take time to repair one of these assets with the black boat. I would say it's probably a good idea to take time to repair that tank up to 9 health. And then at the start of the next one, you can start repair it up again to be at full health. Decides not to do that, goes for the tank, and infantry. Howdy. Right now, Sasha does have 18,700 funds or income to do versus 6,000. Oh, and good night. Get some good rest. Enjoy. Tank will strike tank there. Market crash is available. It will likely. It's just Advanced Wars if you ever played Advanced Wars. Tank, and infantry. Good shot there. We'll go ahead and finish off the tank. Another battle copter deployed in field, or the first battle copter I should say. Tank and infantry. Right now she's up to 19,800 health funds versus 19,000, 20,000 now. And Sasha does have a comm tower, while Hawk is capturing comm tower now. Oh, see ya. Does strike that infantry unit down there. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. It does take time to repair that tank on the front line. Does strike the infantry unit on the comm tower. Anti-air. Tank does strike the pipe seam and hits the infantry. Will probably knock it out there. Yep. Not popping market crash just yet. Want to let some extra power charge be generated, then crash it. Tank will strike the tank there. Tank will follow up with another good shot there. Got another tank, 2 more tanks in reserve. This tank is starting to push way forward. It's best for Sasha to charge it up as much market crash as possible. As her market crash is so cheap, you can get quite a bit of a chain of them. And does hold the recon there, does finish off. Hawk's recon down south is still here, able to spot the airport. Can't spot that base just yet, so just getting on top of his force there will do. Anti-air battlecopter infantry. Does strike that infantry unit there. Gets some good shots there, takes out that tank there. This one will also likely be knocked out as well. Likely will see a crash by the end of the turn. And there is a market crash. Does not wipe out the entire power charge, just got full value from it. Goes for a full Neo tank and then pair infantry units. Drops the capture there, and then use the tank to strike the tank. He does manage to capture his comm tower down south. And Sasha, oh wait, no, he actually managed to flip the comm tower down south. Sasha is trying to capture that comm tower. Anti-air, battlecopter, infantry. That was pop the marker crash there. Infantry, battlecopter, tank, artillery. Right now she's at 24,200 income versus 21,000. Make that 22,000. So right now they have equal number of properties. Some good hits there. This Neo tank is starting to push its way forward. A couple of despicable neutral properties in the center of the map. Recon does rotate around there in a good spotting position. Those are still playing some cat and mouse down there. You effectively need 2 infantry units there to lock down that recon. Does get it spotted, but we'll use a battlecopter to take it out. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Yeah, oh well, it just made the next turn sort of go by a little bit too quick. My apologies. Battlecopter strike the Neo tank for good damage. Black Wave is possible relatively soon. Marker crash is still not available. And Hawk goes for a bomber. Infantry. And we'll probably base skip this turn unless he merges some infantry units together. It does base skip. Decides to base skip this one rather than this one. Black White's not available, but it will be soon be no longer available. Does pop the power there. Infantry, battlecopter, infantry, anti-air. Excuse me when I open up my drink. A good line of infantry in the center, but Sasha does have more income at the moment, and there's still some despicable neutral properties in the map. 23,000 versus 25,300. You can sort of advance, rotate around. Another artillery, infantry, battlecopter, and infantry. Hawk's turn. Good number of anti-airs on the field to stop the bomber. Neo-tank artillery infantry. Does strike the pipe scene there. Could hit the pipe scene a little bit more with the neo-tank. One anti-air is in range of the bomber, so you could try knocking that out. Does spot both anti-airs, so if Hawkman takes out both the anti-airs, and the bomber can have some free rain over there, as well as deliver some free steel rain. Quite a bit self-control. I don't think the artillery unit can take time and stay right there and fire from the pipes and mainly get on top of the forest there. Bomber, infantry, infantry, infantry. Decides to strike the infantry unit there, not the battlecopter. Anti-air strikes battlecopter. Get some good picks there. Bomber does strike the anti-air and decides to use the launch black wave. Nice bit of global damage as well as slight global healing. Now the black bolt's at 2 health. Dun dun dun. I think it's loaded the black boat, not black boat, into the lander. Anti-air infantry. Sasha did have a bit of repairs, predicting on the black bomber. Artillery does strike the anti-air, and Neo-tank strikes tank. A Neo-tank, however, did not advance away from the bomber, so that could be a pretty juicy target next turn. Strikes the anti-air. All she needs to do is spot the Neo-tank, which should theoretically be possible had the anti-air or battlecopter strike the infantry unit there, let the anti-air or the battlecopter strike the battlecopter from right here. Then have the bomber go into the city and knock out the Neo-tank. We'll strike the infantry unit there. We'll strike that infantry unit there. We'll not take out the Neo-tank, I guess. We do have a war bonds available, but we'll likely not see it. It only provides you refund upon doing damage, which that may be only really feasible in high funds games. I doubt we'll see a war bonds. Hawk does go for the Neo-tank, infantry. If she is ever going to get a massive engagement, yes, war bonds does have a purpose if you get a massive engagement in order to get a lot of salvage, but that's never really the case, is it? Lots of hits up there. Does activate more crash, which does drain the power charge entirely. Bomber is in that top of the forest, which could be shot up by the anti-air. Hawk is lacking a lot of stuff here, but what stuff he does have is incredibly powerful. Neo-tank takes out anti-air. Gets in that unit there. Does spot the bomber. Bomber took a severe hit there. As well, air units cannot hide on forests. Battlecopter recon infantry. And another anti-air up north. Artillery does strike the anti-air. The bomber, it's basically dead weight at this point in time. So it looks Cox bomber does take a strike there. He can at least recover of a little bit of health, but not likely. Market crash in the near future. Does pop a market crash. It does not fully wipe the bar, but it's not like Hawk's going to get that good recovery of power charge, since he already took out multiple high value assets last turn. You have 136,000 in the field versus 110, so Hawk's about a turn behind the moment. But North, he has greatly stabilized. In fact, he's lacking number of assets, but he has, well, like I said before, a good powerful assets. Does strike the anti-air a little bit. Battlecopter anti-air, infantry, and recon up north. Artillery does go striking that tank and does finish off. Sasha has spotted another bomber, which will keep nearby the other bomber to get it a little bit of health and replenishment, as well as some fuel and all that sort. Quickly after a black wave. Because a black wave will put it down to 9 health. The 2 health one will be down to 1 health. Oh, it does get repaired by the black boat. Good strikes there. Did not spot anything. He just charged with the Neotank without shooting anything. Little did Hawk know that he just parked right next to a bomber, which he still does not see. Neotank infantry recon. Artillery will strike the anti-air, and anti-air will strike the battlecopter. The black boat can repair that tank and bomb up to 4 health before it moves away. Neotank does go down, and now we do have another market crash. Gets an anti-air there, and battlecopter there. Goes for medium tank down south, infantry artillery. Takes out the wounded anti-air. Good shots there. Hawk maybe will flip a property and then start making his way towards that comm tower. Anti-air, tank, and anti-air. Recon does get struck and will get machine gun down. Another market crash available. Medium tank decides to throw a shot into that pipe scene. It's down to 34 health. And interrupts that capture there, but it is in range of artillery piece. Market crash there. And recon or infantry unit does spot the artillery. Artillery strikes the tank, and anti-air will finish off. Recon will take out the infantry unit there. Recon hits infantry unit there, and the wounded infantry unit will go to capture. Up north, looks like Hawk has no contest. Wounded bomber does strike infantry unit there. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Anti-air does go down. And looks like Hawk is starting to disintegrate on the right flank. Does have a Neotank somewhat close by. But looks like Sasha's starting to clean up the center of the map. There's another bomber, infantry, medium tank, or no, that medium just took out the pipe scene. So bomber, infantry. Answer of 164,000. Hawk right now is 125. We'll flip that one city. And here we'll take out the battlecopter. Neotank strikes out in recon. The artillery gets its free choice of one of those assets. And it looks like Hawk does go for a fighter for air superiority. So there's a lot of interiors in the field. Battlecopter recon, infantry recon. And still, she still has 77,200 in left in the bank. It's her 170,000 versus 133. Black Wave has been summoned once again. Gets nice 1 global damage, greatly even out on the field. Lots of good hits there. Fighter hitting us up. Battlecopter, recon, tank. Bomber strikes Neo tank. Lots of stuff going down the flank as well. Hawk is taking quite a bit of losses. Anti-air, tank, battlecopter, infantry. Sasha does end turn of 155. Hawk starts turn of 120. Bomber does go down. Fighter will strike bombers there as well. Your tank strikes some medium tank. We have more bonds available. There's a lot of stuff in front of her. She gets 50% salvage for each one. And there's, of course, the Neo tank and fighter in front of her. But the problem is, I don't think there's any real way to knock both of them out. No anti-air to range the fighter, so that's not a possibility. Neo tank could be struck by the bomber, but that's only at 4 health. And artillery's out of range as well. So yeah, war bonds does not seem to be a good idea. Like most times it isn't. And Sasha right now is 87,000 in the field versus 139. She took some severe losses last turn. Gets a lot of picks there on these lighter units. She also has 30,000 funds the bank. Pops a Mark Crasher, completely denies Hawk's power. Of course, she has plenty of power charge there for another market crash. Her market crash is almost getting the same cost as a Black Wave. Good hits there. Neo tank will strike the regular tank there. Will be in range the artillery piece. Just needs and is scouted. Battlecopter could strike the artillery piece down there. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Tank will strike the tank there. ATR gets struck as well. Tank does finish it off. I did not see her going for a mega tank last turn. I must have got confused with a medium tank. Because at a brief glance, it does sort of look similar. Tank, T-copter, infantry, anti-air. So mega tanks in the field. Bombers are one of the best assets against mega tanks because they can actually do firepower and not be retaliated upon. Let's get that infantry in there. Battlecopter will strike that infantry in there. ATR will take up the bomber. Lots of good hits there. Another mark crash is almost available. Probably won't see a Black Wave this turn. And Hawk now making a threat for the comm tower, as was another property. Mega Tank takes out the Neo Tank. What's left of it? War Bonds is available. Does go ahead and pop the market crash there. Does not deny all of Hawk's power charge. 50,000 versus 63. Good kills there. Tank will strike anti-air. Battlecopter will strike it. That unit does go down. Battlecopter does get a point of damage on that mega tank. Infantry, bomber. A lot of units range that anti-air. This tank here could retaliate upon it. Good hits there with the anti-air. And a lot of stuff in front of it. He could sack the rest of the ammo of that mega tank with the recons, but for not really any good purpose there. Medium tank infantry. Tank will strike tank, or tank will strike anti-air. That anti-air will fall back at 5 health, but really still ward away battlecoppers. We're probably gonna see a more crash next turn. We've got tank, battlecopter, recon. Fighter takes out the battlecopter. Mega tank takes out the tank. That mega tank only has 1 hour remaining, so if Hawk wants to pin down that mega tank, you can let it waste its ammo on other assets. That mega tank, I think it's in range of this bomber, isn't it? If you can somehow squeeze out power, that'll go a long way to help hitting that mega tank as well. But then again, there's just got a market crash there. Next market crash costs 54,000, supposed to 63. Artillery, anti-air, mech. They can strike infantry in there. And the fighter can strike the fighter. Bomber can strike the mega tank. Lots of good kills there. Does use the anti-air to stop the fighter first, then send the fighter in. That's definitely a good call. Fighter's getting a little bit low on fuel. Mega tank gets bombed for a decent amount of damage. This black belt's also at 1% health, so any of these tanks can charge for and take it out. Battlecopter, tank. Hawk ends her 159,000. Sasha starts turn 92 plus a day-to-day. She's falling pretty far behind. Good shot there at the bomber. And does go hit the resign button. The Xangrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started on the next replay, I do need the restroom. Please give me a moment. I am back. On to the next replay. A moment to adjust everything over here. There we go. I think that's good. So let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the right side as the Blue Moon Kindle, we got Dixie Wreck. Spawn on the left side as the Pink Cosmos Eagle, we got Holy Rainbow. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. Oh wait, did Pink Cosmo always had hooded figures? So I think the skin may have been updated. Don't remember Pink Cosmos having that. So it looks, or maybe people don't really play Pink Cosmo. I'm pretty sure that's new. Sorry, got a little bit distracted there. This is 2 base map, 1 airport. This map is relatively small, but still seems quite large. Probably due to the fact there's no bases down south, so it does get a bit of a feel of largeness. I don't know how to describe it. Additionally, there's also a safe compound for both sides with a little extra firepower. Tank now deployed in the field by Kindle. This map also offers a good number of roads, so wheeled vehicles such as recons have high mobility. So there's number 4, so it'd be active speed bumps. Eagle's tank has been deployed in the field. Remember as well, Eagle, as the air forces, has completely and utterly ordinary tanks and things of sort. Kindle does get, of course, good retaliation damage if you ever want to do some good damage in your turn. ATR now deployed in the field. Tank, battlecopter. Battlecopter deployed last turn block. My mind's a little bit fried at the moment, my apologies. Another tank. So 2 tanks in the battlecopter right now deployed by Eagle. Kindle has gone for ATR to engage that battlecopter. Decides not to engage there to avoid the wrath of this tank. Tank. And battlecopter road with an infantry unit. Right now, Kindle has 13,000 income versus now 15. Both sides still capturing up, so a good number of despicable neutral properties in the map. Kindle has a pretty good lead of field presence on the map. Kindle will need to pull back that tank away from the threat. And the battlecopter heading over to the left now. Battlecopter infantry and infantry. And it's trying to flip that property there. A lot of good hits there. Things well with that property trying to be captured. If Kindle can somehow get rid of that infantry unit there, she can get a booster strike from it. Well, it'll be a bit difficult to get that one unit picked off since the only units that can really deal with this is a tank and a 4 health infantry unit there. Does at least interrupt the capture there, but barely. Battlecopter will strike it. Excuse me, my voice sort of failed there. A little bit too early for my voice to fail today, but it wasn't starting early. Battlecopter will strike the battlecopter, getting severe good damage there. After all, Eagle has plus 6% firepower on all areas and plus 10% defense. Good shot there as well. Eagle's ATR is pushing forward in the center, so it has overall pretty good presence on the map. 16 versus 15,000 with the lesser number of properties of the map. Kindle needs to be more reliant on urban blights rather than the high society, but high society can still be very usable. Another battlecopter, tank, and infantry. ATR will strike the infantry unit there. The problem is, got to be very careful of the urbanized terrain. Good shot there, though. Now this tank will also be struck, so it looks like Kindle's taking a severe beating, isn't she? She can summon Urban Blight to wound a lot of stuff across the map. But this tank here can go on top of the city with an Urban Blight and get a lot of extra firepower, even if at 6 health. Pops Urban Blight immediately. Try and go for a power charge. This will be a pretty good shot there still, no less. It does go for boost strike there. Ooh. Make sure you guys can see it. Here's Oh, she must have rolled a high, had it been high enough luck in order to get that kill. Hard to say. And with that, Kindle has pretty good presence on the top of the map and does trap that 2 health anti-air there. In fact, maybe she should have fired upon this anti-air there, trapping a full health anti-air. Sure, it'll probably take out the infantry at 1 health or retaliate on the 5 health tank. But I think that would have been better. Though it would escape there either way. Never mind. I think as well, having that tank engage that tank there is a bit of a problem, because the slight issue there is now this tank can finish off the anti-air, then this tank can get boost strike onto that tank. So I don't think that was a good play by Eagle. The retaliation is just going to be too high. Tank. Takes out that infantry in there. Wounded tank takes out that tank there. Now got a clear, easy shot there. And will pass get machine gun down. Does get machine gun down. You gotta be careful where all your turn units end. Just because you got a good engagement there doesn't mean it's gonna be great in the future. Eagle's getting pretty close to his superpower, and this map is small enough that it could be quite devastating. Tank anti-air. See, right now Kindle has 2 battle copters, and there's an anti-air on both sides of the map, so that's probably adequate. So the battle copter right now focus down south, get a boost strike from the city there, guaranteed an easy kill. Going back to the tanks there, Eagle does have a good core of tanks. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. He is charging forward. I think he's going for lightning strike. Needs another 7,000 more funds worth of effect, but looks like he will not get it. That may have been not a good idea. He will likely this lightning strike next turn. Battlecopter get a boost strike there, takes out the battlecopter. It does hit the anti there as well. Another battlecopter, and just taking time to do a defensive formation up here. Tank infantry. You can go for lightning strike this turn. Does finish off that wounded battlecopter at least. Takes out that tank there, so lightning strike down south will be somewhat effective. And no infantry moves right there, so it looks like not eyeing for a lightning strike. Anti-air infantry battlecopter, and sort of so 30 units down south for the winter. Good strike there. Infantry get a boosted strike there, allowing her a bit of breakthrough. Takes an anti-air there. Problem is, they got the double turn, so this anti-air can sprint across the map. This one may be in range of some units down south as well. So it'll be cutting close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This anti-air can at least sprint down south and intercept one of those battlecopters. High society is now available. Battlecopter infantry. I think Eagle may go. It's hard to say if he's going to go for lightning strike. Down south, there's a lot of battlecopters, while Kindle has mostly. Eagle 1 has mostly tanks. So the anti-airs need to get down south for the lightning strike. And did not use the lightning strike there. Kindle starts turn 105. Eagle ends turn 94. So he's about over a turn behind. Of course, he will soon potentially get double turn. Pulling back. Now decides popping the power superpower. If Kindle survives the lightning strike, it may be a good idea to go for high society. It will be a pretty weak high society on this map. Right now, she will have 17 properties, which would be approximately plus 51% firepower, which is not too significant. This is more of a map for Urban Blight, that's for sure. But Urban Blight could be quite devastating. Not to mention the amount of tanks getting on top of properties. After all, an Urban Blight up north could be quite nice. Wound Dissing Tree unit there. We'll be able to double tap and get a booster strike on that tank there. He does go with Urban Blight there. He put too many of these vehicles back on properties, so took quite a bit of Blight. And there's the booster strike. One shots it. Probably did 102% damage, I'm guessing. 99 to 107, so had a rocket roll horrible luck to not kill it off. Don't get a follow-up strike on the next tank as well. So the Urban Blight, as I suspect, is going to be very good up there. Eagle has a good number of battlecopters up north, battlecopter anti-air infantry, and Kindle decides to rotate her battlecopter up north, ready to intercept. Not to mention, she has quite a bit of power charge left over, so a follow-up Urban Blight is highly likely if she so chooses. Eagle's just unable to perform a lightning strike. Decides to pull out double infantry there. Maybe eyeing for expensive deployment next turn. Hard to say. Urban Blight? Okay, that's interesting. I was not expecting this. She really wanted that Urban Blight. For what purpose? She saw her opponent deployed out infantry back here. I don't know about that Urban Blight. That was an expensive Urban Blight to do not that much damage in return. It was... not sure. Maybe she saw the double infantry deployment there. She was trying to cut the money she had in the bank to prevent a expensive deployment. That is my best guess. That was something to literally stop a expensive deployment. But now you can pull out some assets on this turn, not to worry about Urban Blight liking them. Leaves 9,000 in the bank. I still don't know. Tank. Does need to get this battlecopter back to Black Boat. This one just got resupplied from it. Goes for a rocket. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep on going forward. This game's being a bit of a stalemate. Another rocket there. He's trying to push his opponent out of the game with rockets. Both sides have a massive number of battlecopters. It is a two-base map. Two-base maps tend to pull out large number of battlecopters. Kindle has somehow 7 battlecopters, Eagle has 5. That's quite a bit. And starting for 195, Eagle starts for 142. Goes for a third rocket. Pumping a rocket out of turn. Kindle does 18,000 funds as opposed to bonus 16,000 funds. This is the property that's the not symmetrical. So I'll just keep on sort of pushing forwards at both sides, just repositioning in general. Nothing much for me to really commentate on. Goes for another pair of 8 years. I mean, there is 9 battlecopters on the field versus 5. The excessive number 8 years would make sense, and if her battlecopters push way forward, he has a lightning strike. And trying to capture some properties or pushing some units forward. Is she just being hyper aggressive? Is she trying to go on a proper Urban Blight? I'm not sure how this is going to go. This feels like a bad idea by Kindle. Let's see. Rocket. In range of a single infantry unit there. 1 anti-air down here. This one could be able to range a battlecopter. Yeah, I don't know. Because this battlecopter can range this this anti-air can range this battlecopter with a double turn. I have a feeling we're going to see the double turn this turn. Plus, Eagle could charge forwards rockets this turn and then get in range of something else. I think that's what he's doing. Charge for the rocket. He's going to go for the double turn. This is a lightning strike turn. Right now, Kindle has 229,000. Eagle starts turn 161. Rocket advancing to the in range. Battlecruiser to finish off that same tank there. Rocket to strike the tank there. Battlecopter strikes Battlecopter. Urban Blight is now available. Here comes a lightning strike. Right now they're pretty even value on the field. Can afford one more infantry unit. Good hit there. Infantry gets hit there. Tank interrupts the capture. Finish off that unit there. Tank gets struck. High Society available. This is probably time for a High Society. Especially with how many of her units are now getting pretty wounded. And she went from 229 to 116. She had lost half of her army last turn. Eagle is at a nice 173. The front lines collapsed, so she doesn't have to go drive too far forward to get some extra damage on. Wait. What? Eagle resigns, not Kindle. I disagree with that. Like, I'm wondering, like, I don't know if Kindle could have done enough damage. Let me go back by out here. Go to the click that X button. Could Kindle get enough damage done? It's hard to say, honestly. I see a good core of healthy units here. Artillery's out of range, so that's not relevant. Battlecopters can be struck. With High Society, she would get about, what, plus 60% firepower? She will get 57% additional firepower. I think, I don't know. Could Kindle get enough damage done? I see a good number of healthy units. Yeah, she probably could. But honestly, it's a little bit of a gamble. Then she'll be in range of the rockets. Yeah, I think the rocket was definitely a bad call, and still. Either way, this is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. I thought, when I heard the resigned sound effect, I thought, yep, there's Kindle resigning. Nope, Eagle resigned. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. Oh wait, I need to adjust the stuff first. And there we go, that should be good now. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Still on the north side as the Umbra Wild Hawk. We got Cowwin. You probably butchered that name well enough. Still on the south side as the Blue Moon Von Boat. We got Leviathan JVL. I don't know how to pronounce that, my apologies. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. This is a 3-base map with 1 airport. Both the COs have good day-to-day power benefits. We got, of course, a nice standard, simple plus 10% firepower. Volvo has a nice, simple plus 10% firepower and plus 10% defense. Black Wave is situationally okay in the situation. Can be deployed in a strategic sense. But we're probably going to see Black Storms. Von Bolt, of course, can only go for Ex Machina, so as they start getting prepared, Hawk will have to be very careful, or effectively will lose a section of the map. And this map tends to be split in 3 sections. You got the right, middle, and left wards. Tank now deployed on the field. Recon. The unit was out of vision range, and so he could not get a strike from the infantry unit there, even though he was in range. Tank tank heading down south of the winter, and will be spotted by the recon. So we just gotta be careful of its range. Its range is that. It will protect everything in the moment. Takes out the infantry there, interrupts the capture. Tank push up north, so if Vollbolt charges and hit that recon, you have retaliation nearby. And it does charge forward. But you do got the counter here, but of course got the chain of caliper tanks. Vollbolt needs, or Hawk needs to get another tank up here to help keep the chain going, or else he will lose the tank engagement. Goes for artillery. So Hawk will likely lose his tank engagement, because now this tank will charge forward where the recon is, get a shot onto it, and then it takes damage, and will probably... Then this tank will push forward, get a strike on it, and then this one will be right there and retaliate upon it. Vollbolt needs to go for a tank down here, and he will win that tank war. Just in the same way somebody who loses would win the thumb war. It does go for another tank there. Tank is struck and does get machine gun down. Entry has good spot in the region though. We'll take the 5 health tank there, goes to capture there. Recon strikes the infantry unit there, and got more tanks to forward. Another tank here to pull up a Hawk as well as a recon. The recon does spot the recon. Vollbolt needs to move this recon to one of these tiles down south. Ideally on this tile here, because if this infantry unit if he moves puts on this tile there, then this infantry unit gets on top of the city. It will not spot the tile right next to it. So if he moves the recon right there, this infantry unit will have to spot it, and then this one will have to come and kill. Have to use both of those turns to kill it. One. Tank, infantry. And this recon should just move this force tile there. As this one moves up to the capture of the city, this one will have to... well, could trap at least. Blackbolt can take time to repair up that infantry unit there. You've got a good core of tanks here. This tank could be knocked off. Another tank, battlecopter, and base skip. Infantry. Anti-air gets deployed in field. Artillery striking the pipe seam. And they're 51% health. Anti-air, recon, and infantry. Does get a strike there. Does spot this tank. Recon spots 2 more tanks there, as we'll take out infantry there, trying to flip that property. Does get trapped there. Both players have a comm tower. Battlecopter, artillery, infantry. Infantry. Recon gets struck there. Right next to this core tanks there, but more tanks pushing into the center now. %3 health left in the pipe seam. Goes for infantry, battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Tank will charge forward, gets a good strike there. Looks like Vollbolt's taking early tank lead. Does spot that unit in the forest. Battlecopter center. Now we've got a medium tank here. Does not take out that infantry unit there. Infantry, medium tank. Hawk has 20,000 income at the moment, while Vollbolt has 22. Good shots there. Battlecopter has not been spotted, and the anti-air could be knocked out by a tank. which then revealed the battlecopter. Overall, I think a Vombo just needs to pull out of this region. Tank battlecopter, tank. Okay, so that 1 health infantry there. I probably would have sent a 9 health one to start capturing the palm tower. Okay, so that unit there. Tank does get loaded from the lander. Tank artillery. Pipestein does go down to the medium tank. Does take a good hit there. Both players' medium pipesteins are now down, allow easier traversal in the center of the map, as well as rightwards. Anti-air tank recon. Good shots there. Takes out that capturing squad. You now have a black wave available, which could be used to replenish this black boat's health up to 2 health. Battlecopter recon for tank. Resupplies that infantry unit there. Could be topped off with a black wave. Does spot the recon there. Will take it out. Medium tank heading up as well. Recon infantry battlecopter tank. Infantry unit does get struck there. Recon's gonna be down south. It will take out that infantry unit there. Trying to flip that property there. Volvo has 24,000. Hawk has 23,000. The point of contention is this despicable neutral property. That's one between the 2 players income. Infantry, battlecopter, anti-air. Tank will strike the infantry unit there, in range of the artillery. So hopefully he has a plan to range the artillery. It doesn't appear to be. There's good strikes there. Battlecopter does strike the tank. Battlecopter, recon, tank, and infantry. Anti-air does strike the battlecopter there. Both Black Wave and Ex Machina both soon be available. Ex Machina will likely strike in this region at the moment. Could be Ex Machina this turn. Ex Machina will likely strike right on top of this battlecopter. Oh wait, I'm getting the players' colors mixed up. It's Hawk's turn. Black Storm has hit that battlecopter, as well as every other unit on the map. Sorry, my mind got backwards a little bit. I was so focused on Ex Machina, I was like, oh, this is Hawk's turn. Ugh, my mind's stupid right now. Hawk can serve 172,000 in the field. Volvo has only 110. It will very likely strike this region. I'm guessing it will strike this tank here. No. Ah! Used the lander and everything here got struck. Which, that would be quite expensive. It also will lock down the lander as well as the space for a bit of time. The infantry has to fjord the river. 2 capture progress there. AT will restrict the battlecopter. Artillery decides not to take a shot there. Does have vision ATR, so could take on 2 tanks. Doesn't see the battlecopter in the back line. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. And decides to fall back out of that area. Yep, the X-Mark under this strike there. He's going to spend a bit of money on the refunds, that's for sure. Tank, battlecopter, infantry, force base skip or base blocked. Hawkins has 171, Vombo has 126. Artillery strike that tank there and there. Medium tank will strike regular tank. He does manage to capture both comm towers now, which is quite significant. He does have an ever so slight better income, for now at least. So he is behind, but not entirely. It's hard to evaluate another extra comm tower. When it's 2 versus 0, so that's effectively 2 comm tower advantage. Answer 143, Hawks are 156, so he's only ahead about half a turn. You think he'll be struck by the battlecopter up here. Battlecopter, anti-air, infantry, and infantry. There's a despicable neutral property trying to be captured, and likely will be successful. The 7 health infantry be the one that needs to be used to interrupt, as was 8 health infantry. 1%, not so much. Bomber, infantry, infantry, infantry. So Hawk has now deployed out bomber. Main tank straightforward. Minimal recon support, but it will be safe enough for now. Could be struck by some battlecopters. If you really want to stop the medium tank before that point, you can always throw in a black wave. Recon strike the artillery. Does hit the tank down south, and the artillery there as well. Bomber heading down south. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, recon. 215 versus 172 of a state of days, so 200 versus 215. ATR okay, gonna strike the recon. Recon will strike infantry unit there. Because he didn't take out that unit there, may have a bit of trouble trying to take out one of these tanks to reach the artillery. Battlecopter's pushing up north. Does strike the various assets up there. 2 anti-airs not spotted, either of them. One does both get spotted there. Black wave's now available. Trying to flip a central property. This property is still despicably neutral. Battlecopter gets a good strike there. Lots of good picks there. Tank gave a strike there and there. Infantry artillery forward, and we got a stealth now pulled in the field. You can still go for one more infantry. Decides to purposely base skip, even though he has 1,000 income. Anti-air get a good shot there. A couple of the stuff will go down the center. Medium tank does get struck by the artillery. Bomber will take out the medium tank there. Pops a full black wave, so he will. That stealth's gonna be expensive repair. And see the bomber as well. He may need to get to send the stealth over to the bomber to take it out and not rely on a fighter. This one's also trying to flip that comm tower, and he'll probably get it. You have to let loose that recon to strike down south. Ex Machina is almost available. Ex Machina is available. And he's taking severe losses right now. Neo Tank. Infantry. Ends turn with 202,000, starts turn 96. Severe difference between the two. Ex Machina will likely maybe land right here. It's hard to say exactly where we'll land. We'll just find out. Oops. So my prediction did land right there. Was correct. Locking down a substantial central force. Anti-air, anti-air. Anti-air will get some damage there. Recon takes out that unit there. APC falls back. Luckily, he has an APC already on the field to resupply the stealth, so gotta keep it close by. The Black Widow can always assist. He also did take down to repair the APC with the Black Widow. Don't think that was really worth it. He does make it 109. Hawk got called down to 159, but also a good number of assets in the center of the map is disabled from the neck down. Neo Tank in the center will cause some issues. He has no proper counter to it. As well as a medium tank. Bomber down south as well. You may want to send this fight itself into the center of the map. Hawk has flipped that comm tower, so both players at one comm tower now. Infantry, battlecopter, infantry, tank. He spies that infantry unit there. Gets a good strike there in that battlecopter. Here, a number of captures. One of which was a 1 health infantry unit there. Has 18 turns left to get that captured. Good strikes on that tank there. Anti-air will take out a recon. Neo Tank strikes anti-air. Battlecopter, infantry, Neo Tank, and base skip. Insert for 194. Vomble has 104 still. And his stealth will make his first connection next turn. Does get strapped up on that recon. Does not have spotted this battlecopter there. Rocket pushing along the flank. Stealth will take out that what's called battlecopter, no problem. So Hawk will likely pull out fighter next turn. Does go fighter, infantry, infantry. If you really want some neuter that stealth, you can always pop a block wave as soon as you can. Rock heading down south. That is, of course, not a great path there. Does resupply the stealth there. Neo Tank, infantry, infantry. Good strike there, and we'll start flipping that property. Fire could simply head diagonally to the center until he knows what this stealth is. But he may solve that APC there. If he sees the APC there, he could give an indication that he knows what the stealth is. Recon, recon, and tank. There's the battlecopter there. Neo-Tank pushing forward, small buffer there, but I think that is bad play. That Neo-Tank is way too far with a lack of escort. Right now, Von Bolt is still pretty far behind. Goes for infantry, infantry, bomber, infantry. And the Neo-Tank will get a good strike on the Neo-Tank. We'll take out the AT there while trapping the Neo-Tank. The Neo-Tank gets nuked or bombed. In which the bomber's getting pretty low on fuel. The black boat could actually get some restoring fuel resupply down the bomber. And that black boat's actually up to 5 health thanks to the blue 2 black storms. It was at 1 health. Infantry there. Stealth does get resupplied, or by either Black Bolt or the APC. It's hard for me to tell. And serve 162 versus 235. It's getting a bit of a stalemate right now. Trying to flip some properties in the center. Infantry, recon, battlecopter, infantry. And we do have an APC deployed on the field to resupply the bomber rather than using the black boat. Really could have just used the black boat. Neo-Tank does get a good shot there. We'll finish off, interrupts the capture there. Another Neo-Tank, and fighter push way forward. Good strike there. Bomber does strike the Neo-Tank there. Ex Machina is available. It will likely strike right here. Yeah, it's definitely going to strike right there. That'll hit the Neo-Tank, bomber, and fighter. I don't think that's going to draw it. I think it will strike right here. Pulls back the Neo-Tank. Pulls back the infantry there. Nope. Looks like it did land over here. I was how much expensive some of this stuff is, like the lander. Because I could have sworn it would strike right here. Like, that's a bomber, fighter, and Neo-Tank. With infantry and AT to boot. But it looks like it struck around here. Probably struck right there with the Neo-Tank, medium tank, and the lander. No. It struck right here, didn't it? It hit the fighter, Neo-Tank. I don't know. Takes out the bomber there at least. ATR will strike the infantry unit there. Bomber strike Neo-Tank. This is going to be a massive game or play by Von Bolt, it seems like. It feels like he's getting a lot of work done. If that fighter gets locked down by the Ex Machina, that would be great. It allows his stealth another turn to live. Nope, it did strike that Neo-Tank. So the stealth will likely go down this turn, but we'll probably lose that fighter the following turn due to his opponent's fighter as well as maybe ATR nearby. Does have the bomber there. Does put some rounds with the fighter there, so maybe not. Maybe this is actually Von Bolt's last turn. He is thinking beating this turn. Yep, I think actually now I'm thinking that it's Von Bolt's probably going to resign with Husu. He is taking a pounding. If that Ex Machina would have struck that fighter, that would have been a whole nother story. Even striking the ATRs would have been quite good since he has so much valuable air. Neo-Tank strikes some good units there. Interrupts the capture of the column tower. All those wounded units are just creeping their way forward. And Vulnerable has resigned. This is Angrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. Before I get started with another replay, do you need to use the restroom? Please give me one moment. My apologies, I'm back. Let's see. Oh, I have enough in me for one more replay tonight. Let me just try to find the best one I have. Haven't done too many of coal, so this should be pretty fun. Not the longest one I have, second longest one I have remaining. So let's do this one. Yep, that looks pretty good to me. That name is double stack. Can I fix that? Nope, I cannot fix that. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, Angrade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn south side as the Nor Eclipse Coal, we got Noob Planey. Spawn south or north side as the Green Earth Chest, we got Magician 2000. This is a lively game rather than Global League, so keep an eye on this counter, because that means how much time they have left to perform the turn. If they hit 0, it will be forced to end their turn. And let's go ahead and get started. This is a 3-base map all in the corner with a pair of airports. We got pipe scenes blocking the way for the comm tower. Additionally, both players do start out with a missile. Missile knows where it's at, or it knows where it isn't at. Coal is the counterpart to Adder, which has a more exclusive power than superpower. It gets additional plus times of firepower from attacking from roads, not bridges. There's a decent amount of roads in this map, so it could be quite nice. But the scaling is all not too great as well. If you remember correctly, it's like plus 10, plus 20, then plus 40. Mostly use coal for her, or his, I don't know if he or she, honestly. For the possible mobility, like Adder, but you have some situations where you can do better from attacking from roads, of course. Overall, Adder's more reliable, but Coal has a little bit higher potential. But it's not really that high potential, to say the least. Artillery's trying to strike the pipe scene. Coal's being hyper aggressive with this missile. Probably just trying to go ahead and possibly, for one, reconnaissance, since the missile has excellent recon. Two, could push a little bit farther forward and may be able to pick off a stray aircraft if she deploys one out quickly. But it's just, has minus 10% firepower on battlecopters, but minus 10% is not too bad. This is a two comm tower map, so sure, comm tower battlecopters at least be above average, or above ordinary, I should say. Pipe scene has been destroyed and does spot the missile there. This pipe scene has 96% health left, so Cole has a pretty good amount of intelligence here. And we also got an APC here. Recon does strike that unit there. Tank, recon, and infantry. Recon's actually still safe enough to... actually, no, there's actually quite a bit of shores here, so this area is perfectly traversable. And since they're basically the same as roads, but in this case, not with Cole. If I were doing any balance changes for Cole, I wouldn't necessarily give her any bonuses, or him any bonuses involving firepower bonuses on shores, as probably what you're expecting, but at least would make her get additional firepower bonuses on these bridges. Because, let's be frank, Cole should get firepower bonuses from bridges. They're basically roads. Just cosmetic roads. Tank, tank. Artillery, recon, infantry, as was a battlecopter, first battlecopter in the field. Of course, you have to be careful when it comes to missile. It is not a reliable counterpart to the anti-air. Let's be frank, anti-air stuff provides more coverage than the missile, as it has 6 tile movement speed as opposed to 5 weapon range. Anti-air, recon, infantry. Tank, infantry. Something to note as well, infantry could end their turn atop the airport. You can see right now, both players sort of did a bit of extra time. Got 17 minutes and 25 or 15 minutes. So both players, as the turns start going, they can stockpile position time, which they can use to save for later. Is effectively another resource to work with, or not to work against, I should really say. Beam tank, infantry. Interrupts the comm tower there. Both players have, or Cole has 2 comm towers, and this comm tower is not secure, so Cole has additional 5 temps of firepower bonus, which makes her day-to-day effectiveness passive is greater than Jess's. From equal to greater. Battlecopter, mech, tank, and infantry. Good hits there. And trying to flip the comm tower once again, and I don't see anything that can really, or can interrupt it. So just look at the flip, though Cole can start getting it flipped as well. And both players' HQs are right here, and both players' HQs got one that's under threat, the other one does not have any security. Recon, tank. Mech gets pushed on forward, very nice. Artillery falls back, tank is on top there. The missile knows where it is, because it knows where it isn't. And trying to flip these properties up north, including the comm tower. So just look at this comm tower, it will soon be equal to 2. Giving 1 course of turns. Battlecopter, infantry, tank, infantry. Right now, Cole has 131 field versus Jess's 115, so they're still pretty even. Tank. And Jess is rotating towards the center now. Strike the infantry unit there, takes it out. Wait, am I going a little bit confused? Is that a full health infantry snipe? Sorry, I just thought that went to my mind. Is like wondering what? That thing had been wounded, right? Oh, the artillery must have wounded it. Got it. The artillery here must have wounded it. Oh, we do have now the force march activated there. Gain plus movement range global. Takes out the missile. Don't have to worry about that. Get some good strikes there. Good shot there. Of course, we got Jess's overdrive now available, which will give her vehicles +2 movement range, among other benefits like plus 40% firepower and things of that sort. So, medium tank will push forward. Will be in range of the artillery. Recon strikes the recon and not the artillery. So that artillery is going to get a great hit there. It's also on top of the road, so it gets additional firepower. And has a spotter nearby. Battlecopter goes down. Tank gets struck. That tank goes down. This tank's getting picked off there. Mech is in range now. Trying to flip a property. Cole's definitely taking a bit of a beating. Battlecopter, infantry, anti-air. And serve 117. Cole still has 100,000 field, so Jess is about 1 turn ahead, but that's going to be quickly changed there. Interrupts the capture. Stops the capture thanks to double road boost, which has actually been surprisingly useful. So that unit there. Ooh. I would have took a shot on that artillery, on that tank there, that medium tank. Because that would have been a great shot to make. I see, sure, you'll probably lose the artillery piece, but it would definitely pay for itself greatly. So I disagree with that. Good strikes there. Resupply there on the missile. Jess has spoiled out battle compass, so it has to. She has to be careful about that missile. And even losing the missile gives Cole some power charge. Tank, recon, battlecopter, infantry. And serve 197,000 versus 117. Of course, day to day, so they're effectively equal. And when it comes to time, they both have well over 10 minutes. Lots of good picks there. Recon, anti-air. Good strikes there. Cole has her or his power. I still don't know if that's he or she. I think I question myself every single time when Cole comes on the field. It's probably he. Gonna try and make opportunity to go for the comm tower or go for the city. Max down to 1 HP and 1 ammo. Triple tanks. Does spot the recon there. Nothing much on the left up here from both sides. Just as a superior force. Medium tank artillery, infantry. Mech. We'll finish off the 1 health infantry unit there. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, recon. Cole has now gone below 10 minutes at 9 minutes. Jess has a nice 12 minutes to work with at the start of her turn. Cole now has the Trail of Woe superpower, which we may see at this turn. We got the full superpower. Let's see how well this goes. Recon charges its way forward. Good strike there. Battlecopter will finish off. Battlecopter strikes Battlecopter, able to range them both. Infantry gets a boosted strike there and there. Artillery gets struck by the Battlecopter. Tank managed to strike the anti-air from the road. Battlecopter, tank, artillery, infantry. We got some units over there. Now got another overdrive to counter attack. Cole has 126,000 in field, it's 122,000. Need tank heading down south, hits the regular tank there. Anti-air will strike the Battlecopter, and Battlecopter strikes Battlecopter, leaving the Battlecopter remaining. Tanks will strike the tank. Infantry unit does get knocked out there. Takes out that unit there. Does manage to take out that tank as well. Recon hits the artillery quite hard as well. Anti-air infantry. Cole gets knocked down to 93,000. Just ends turn 134. Battlecopter and artillery heading up north. And will machine gun down that tank there. Tank is going to strike tank. Gets out those outlying stuff. This infantry there will at least deny the capture if Cole goes for the column tower. Recon medium tank infantry. Anti-air, tank, and infantry. Iron flip the column tower. We'll be able to capture the column tower. It's completely surrounded. A little bit overkill, but we will be successful. This column tower here could be start being captured as well. We got a Battlecopter nearby. If unit does get picked off there. Yep, Battlecopter's in range, so should be able to secure the column tower. Cole does have a slight income advantage, but of course got multiple cities being under threat as well. Jess ends turn 4 minutes 11 seconds. Cole has 8 minutes 46 seconds. That's actually a big important part. You know, Jess is more in the field. She may not be able to utilize it all effectively or even at all if the game continues on where she keeps on running out of time. Battlecopter is at 1 health, 2 ammo, low in fuel. That tank Battlecopter is very well used. Medium tank will strike the medium tank there. Right now, Jess does not have any Battlecopter's field, just a decopper, so the missile is only effectively a glorified recon at this point in time. Medium tank, infantry. And just now at 3 minutes, Cole has 8 minutes start of turn. Another force march is available, as well as a turbocharge. We may see a turbocharge in the future rather than overdrive. Medium tank infantry. Battlecopter gets knocked out, and there quite a bit of losses there by Cole. And that's triple Battlecopter down, and I've got a turbocharge. Plus one range will be very handy in terms of capture there. Both sides has 2 counters capture. Both sides has a successful flip. Medium tank infantry. We may see a force march, we may see... Yep, we will see a trail of woe. Tank will strike anti-air. Medium tank will strike tank. Part of me wonders if he should have struck the anti-air and then let the battle copter have free reign of the tanks. Tank for recon. And serve 136,000 versus 148 starting, so Jess has a overturn advantage. As I mentioned, the front line sort of collapsed on in, so she will have a great turn. Good number of those assets just got picked off there. Battlecopter infantry, anti-air infantry. A lot of small picks there. Neo-tank infantry. A little bit of boost there. Trying to get a nice front line over here. There's nothing much to stop Jess right now. Medium tank takes out the missile. And the infantry just get disintegrated. And even flanking up north, so Cole has 2 medium tanks in this area to work with. Versus Jess has 2 medium tanks and 1 which is covered by an artillery piece. Cole with the missile and then medium tank can strike from the HQ, but the artillery will still do a good number onto it. Not good for Cole. Medium tank head up north. Another turbocharge available. Get some good strikes there on the tanks. Medium tank infantry. Their income right now is equal and serve 144. Just serve 162. Another turbocharge is activated. Able to one-shot the battlecraft and 6 up anti-air because of it. Medium takes out that medium tank in one shot as well. Trail of Woes once again very available. I don't know why I kept on trying to say the word very. Helicopter, recon, rig, and infantry. Trail of Woe. Trying to capture that city up there. Does hit the recon there. Neo tank and ends the turn and resigns. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching and on to the next replay. As mentioned beforehand, that shall be my last replay tonight, so